Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's me, Mr. Anchor, back with you for one more episode of the Mr. Anchor Show. Uh, if you have any preconceived notions about the political state of America or anything, then you need to get it out of your head right now. No matter who you voted for, who you liked, you need to just forget everything. We need to talk together as decent human beings. And if you have any preconceived notions, preconceived thoughts while watching this, the point's going to be lost. You might as well turn it off. You know, everybody has rights, ladies and gentlemen. They do. And rights are a great and wonderful thing. Uh, people are it's starting to get a little bit hectic. Um, last night I took down one of my videos. And the reason is because I listed my address because I was willing to stand up to people. But then again, I have kids. And as a father, I can't jeopardize the safety of my kids because I want to take a stand. They're innocent in all this. They had no say in this vote. They didn't have any say in what happens in the world around us. So it's not, it'd be irresponsible for me as a parent to, you know, give out my address, seeing how people have become about this. Would I stand up against people who want to destroy and harm others? Yes. Yes, in a heartbeat. You want to pick a place, a time, then let's go, But I had to take that video down. As soon as I took that video down, I walked over, I sat down on the news, flicked on the news, and saw the protests. Now, I don't mind people protesting at all. Like I said, people have rights. Everybody has rights. Me, you, everyone does. Or at least if you're American. I don't know if anybody else outside of America watches this. I doubt it. But anyways, everybody has rights. You have the right to assemble. You have the right to free speech. But as I said before, there are rules to those rights. You don't make threats. That is not covered in free speech. You do not assemble in huge numbers because over a certain amount of numbers you need permits. That's considered illegal protesting once you get over a certain amount of numbers. And if you are out in streets or blocking highways or traffic, that's illegal. That's just fact. You can't argue with what is. But last night I turned on the news and I was just heartbroken as an American citizen. Because I turned on the news because I remember back in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. I say 2000 to 2010. I turned on the news and I would see the stuff that is happening in our backyard today because of these protests in third world countries. We look like a fool to the rest of the world, ladies and gentlemen. And it's over what? Over what? A difference of opinion? Because people think one way or the other about certain people? That just shows how immature we have become. But last night I saw on the news, a mother kicks her 8-year-old out into the street. The 8-year-old doesn't know that she's going to let him back in, but he's crying, throwing up a tantrum. He thinks it's real. He thinks he's being kicked out for good. I saw a person get beat because of who they voted for. And I don't care who they voted for. I don't care if they voted for somebody you like or not. You do not, under any circumstances, get to create physical violence or destroy property first because of your beliefs. That's not what America is about. America is about embracing everybody's opinions, not this society that we have today where if somebody has the opposite opinion of you, we're automatically enemies. And then I saw the riots in the streets. Oh man, that's when my heart broke. Because I couldn't take things. I couldn't take seeing something like that. It was sad. It was just tragic. And I felt ashamed to be an American. I did. For the first time in my life, I felt ashamed to be an American. It was, it was truly heartbreaking. And if you sit there in your head and you go, well, it's because of this and this and this and this and this and this and this, then the point is lost. No, no. Cut the bullshit. Cut the bullshit. Seriously. Because these protesters, yes, they have a right to freedom of speech and to rally, but do it the right way. Do it the right way. You know, the way that it's going now, it's causing conflict. It is. People are starting to get hurt now. So, are you not going to be happy until you get somebody killed? Because this is where this is heading. Somebody's going to get killed, and you can't play victim when you started it. You can't. And when that happens, no matter what you believe, what you're fighting against, you just gave them the moral high ground, because guess what? They haven't gotten anybody killed because of their beliefs and their thoughts. But you guys have. So how far do you want to take this? I mean, conflict is the start of fights. The start of killings. It's the start of wars. It's never the start of anything good. All this because of difference of opinion. Some people lost. And yes, it's hard to face a defeat. It is. But, you know, people have done it since the beginning of time. And it's never been a real bad issue until now. 270 years of the Electoral College, and nobody has questioned it until now. I used to question it, but I didn't have a full understanding of it. You think protesters out there are angry now? Wait until you piss off over half the country, 29 states, that voted in the majority to get the results that we have. You know, people are going to get pissed either way. If she won, he won, or, you know, no matter what, people were going to be angry. People were going to be angry. You know, I was angry before. I voted for Obama the first term. Second term I didn't. I was angry when he got in because I didn't like Obamacare. And yes, Obamacare is just a failed policy. I'm sorry. I just don't like it. It's raised premiums through the daggone roof. For me and my family to get in coverage on that, it's like $800 a month, and then an $8,000 deductible. That's the cheap end. People can't afford that. That's ridiculous. That's more than a house payment, a car payment. That's just bloody ridiculous. So yes, it does need to be changed. But I'm not going to get into political issues. I mean, some people may like Obamacare, but that's besides the point. That's a difference of opinion. Is it worth killing over? Is it worth starting conflict over? I mean, what is it? Are these people not going to be happy until they declare martial law? What, you think that your rights are hurting now? Wait until martial law is declared. There is no rights for nobody when martial law is declared. And if that happens, people are going to have an enemy in me. And a lot of other people, because you broke a bond, a sacred bond that I made with my children, that they could do and live their lives how and the way they choose. If martial law is created, you took that away from them. And as a father, daggone it, I will die to protect their rights. No matter who's elected, I will die to protect anybody's rights. I'm not going to let anybody take anybody's rights away from anyone. I'm not an animal. I'm not stupid. Just because you're not my family doesn't mean I'm not going to sit there and say, okay, well, your rights are being stripped. I'm going to pick up and I'm going to fight with you. You know, people think that the people who elected Trump are going to just let him do whatever the hell he wants to. He's like any other president before. The people are watching, and the people will react to what he does. But he isn't even in office yet. So we have absolutely no idea what he is going to do or what he is not going to be able to do. So to make assumptions before anything actually happens is kind of naive of us. But this is the path that you're heading us down to with these protests. And by God, if martial law gets declared, you're going to have enemies. Because I'm going to try to stop whoever took those rights around, or the rights away from our kids, just like any other father would, or die trying. So right now we're at a precipice to stop this before this gets out of hand. Yeah, I know it's hard to swallow a loss, but dadgummit, do it. Other people have dealt with it throughout 270 years. Why can't you? Take it like a grown-up. Go back to work. Go back to your family and friends. Live your lives. And what do you have to worry about? What fear? The only fear that is created right now is from the same people who claim to be against hate and the ones that are out there in the street protesting. Because of their self-projections, we have this mess and chaos in the streets. Well, everybody has a right to survive. And the question is how much blood do you want on your hands before this stops? So it's come to a point where we either need to say, cut the bullshit, and either declare war, and so that way that people who want to fight can show up on the battlefield and duke it the fuck out, or knock it off. Because the path that this is going on, it's not going to end well. It's not going to end well. And I don't want any more blood on our hands. I don't. I'm tired of it. You know, don't blame a Trump supporter or Trump. Blame yourselves. It's your actions that's causing this. Nobody was responsible for their actions except for yourself. I mean, everybody's actions can be pretty much basically summed up like this. If I broke into your house, kicked in your door, said, I want to kill you, and started heading towards you, you're going to try to kill me before I kill you. Just as I would if it was you in my house. Well, that's the environment that you're projecting. I mean, that's the environment that you're putting out into the streets for everybody to accept. An environment of violence where people can't go about their lives and feel safe. Is that what you want all across America? Because I sure as hell don't want that. I mean, what, you want a civil war where everybody who voted one way and everybody voted the other way goes against each other? Well, damn, it's going to be a bloodbath, America, because my next door neighbor, she voted differently, but we have common respect for each other as decent human beings. Neighbors at neighbors. Blood on the streets. It's horrible. It's beyond horrible. Grow up. Please, please grow up. Because on the path that it's heading, nothing good is going to come of this. People are going to get killed. People will die. And for what? A difference of opinion? You know, I'm held responsible for my actions because I make them. Be responsible for yours, people. And if you break that contract with my daughters as a father, as every father has made to their children, there's going to be issues. And I'm going to try to stop you, along with plenty of other fathers. Every father has made that daggone promise to protect their children. and I will not break mine. I'm Mr. Anger. This is my last and final warning. I can't believe the state of affairs that our country is in. It's tragic. It's tragic. And all over what? A difference of opinion. Because certain people have hated who got elected. You know what? People have hated who got elected before. But never has there been an ugly response like this. Stop the protest. Stop it. Stop the division. Make the news channels stop the division too by egging it on. Point out their biases. We as American people can bond together and point out their stupid bullshit that is dividing us. Yes, Electoral College can't change their votes on December 19th. But too many states prohibit that, and it's against the law for them. It won't happen. It's a long shot, and newspapers printing that up and giving these people hope to keep on doing this, they're just egging it on. They're just egging it on. Stop the egging on of the behaviors. Because it's going to end up with blood on people's hands, and we don't want it. Just like, we arm terrorists to do the unspeakable things against us and plethora to others. Where's the outcry and rage about that? We got enough blood on our hands, people. By allowing illegal immigration, what we as people are condoning is just, it's astronomical. We condone human trafficking, illegal drugs, illegal gun running, all the violence that is involved in those three. We condone it because we won't do anything about it. More blood on our hands. I'm tired of the blood on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. And yes, it's hard facts. It's hard to face these things. But daggone it, we got to. We have to. Because Americans are tired of feeling ashamed. Walking around just scraping the blood off, and as fast as they're scraping it off, more comes back. Ladies and gentlemen, please bond together. Please act like civil, decent human beings. The world isn't over, and it'll be okay. A loss is hard to do, but we've done it throughout history. We could do it again. Even as a person who voted for Trump, I will protect everybody's rights. You think I want martial law so that everybody's rights could be taken away? No. And everybody has rights as of right now. Everybody does.
Yeah.
Just as these protesters have the right to continue this and to make this go down the bad road, the path that I see in front of us. Because I could tell you how it's going to happen right here, right now. It's going to continue and somebody's going to get killed. That's going to involve the BLM and other crowds. And then you're going to have opposition. Things are going to get out of hand. Martial law is going to get declared. And if you think martial law is a great thing, people will fight against that. Because nobody has freedoms. Nobody has rights during martial law. The military says jump and you say how high. You're under military rule then, ladies and gentlemen. Or we can stop and act like decent human beings. Swallow our damn pride. And move on. I'm Mr. Anger.